It is Locked On NBA Game Night for the night of September 9th. On today's show, Alperen Sengun and Giannis will meet in the next round at EuroBasket. Josh Giddey re-ups with the Bulls, and more details about what the Raptors did not offer Kawhi Leonard.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night. Tipping off now.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to an off-season edition of Locked On NBA Game Night. Wes Goldberg here with Tony East. However, you might be tuning in on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for making Locked On NBA your first listen every day. Jam-packed show for you today. We're recording this after Tuesday's EuroBasket games. Turkey and Greece move on. Tony, Turkey looks amazing in this tournament. They beat Poland 91-77. Close game until the second quarter, and then Turkey's defense just turns it up. They cruise to a win. Alperen Sengun, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists in a very rare EuroBasket triple-double. I think I read somewhere he's like the youngest player ever to have a triple-double. He's 23 years old in EuroBasket. He's been one of the best players in this tournament, Tony.
Yeah, he's been sensational. And it's weird because I was talking to somebody about Sengun earlier today. It's like, is this a level up? Is this what, because I consider him pretty good, like, and close to this level, but he's like dominating this tournament as the clear focal point, which he's always been mostly a focal point, but not the guy. It makes you really wonder what this year's going to look like for him on the Rockets, because he's awesome. And all it takes for him is, fringe NBA guys and Shane Larkin, Chetty Osman, and Furkan Korkmaz, and he can tear up a tournament. Like, this is, for many of these teams, especially with France already out and Slovenia, Germany is one of them is going to lose. And I forget the other upset off the top of my head. There was one more. Like, this is some of these teams' best chance ever at a medal. And like, if Sengun gets Turkey to something awesome, like, that's a huge deal for them. And he's playing like he knows it.
So Rockets fans will call him Baby Jokic, right? He's got an opportunity to do something Jokic has never done, which is win the EuroBasket.
That's the team I missed, obviously. Jokic's team lost to.
Serbia, yeah. Jokic's team or Jovic's team? It's debatable, but whatever. I want to read you this quote from Furkan Korkmaz, obviously Alperen Sengun's Turkish teammate there. He said, quote, and remember, Korkmaz, for people who don't remember, played for the 76ers at one point. He says, quote, I think Joel Embiid was the best player, best center I was playing with, but I think we can tell that it's Alperen Sengun now. It's great to be around him. He's enjoying basketball, and he helps us a lot on the court, both defensively and offensively. I think he's a special kid, and every day he's trying to give his maximum. And this year, we are also seeing that he's playing aggressive defense too, not only offense, and that gives us a lot of confidence on the court. Sengun has been good defensively. I mean, against Serbia in that big game that they played to basically get the I don't know if they call it the one seed in Europe, but whatever, the top spot out of their group. He had the game-winning steal in that game. So he's been switching out defensively. He's been obviously amazing on the boards, as he always is, and it's just even more so against EuroBasket competition. And you asked that key question. What if he levels up? What does that mean? He's 23 years old. He played in his first playoff series last year, averaged like 21 points and 12 rebounds and 4 assists or something crazy. Really good first series where he was a real factor, and his physical presence was a real factor, I thought, in that series, despite the loss in 7 games. But if he levels up on a Rockets team with Kevin Durant, like that's what it is for Houston, right? Like, that's what the path would look like for the Rockets to somehow make it out of the Western Conference, is for Sengun to build off of this and play like this.
Yeah, I agree. The thing you said about his defense is interesting because the FIBA rules make him like more capable of being a good defender. That's not to take away from what he's doing, because he is playing in a FIBA setting and looks awesome. He needs to take that to a more spread out NBA, and that's where he could really level up. If it's like, oh, he's like a really awesome positive defender, like watch out, because of what you just said. He's with Kevin Durant now, and you could say Kevin Durant at age, I forget if he's 38 or 39, but older, right? And Sengun, who's ascending, like neither of them are maybe like your ideal top 1A option right now for a contender. But if you have like the 2 very best 1Bs together on an elite defensive team otherwise, like that is a setup that works very well. And of course we did, our verses a couple weeks ago with Houston and Denver. Like, I would have to rethink how I feel about who the second best player on the Rockets is and who, all that stuff. If Sengun is really this good and can be like the all the time engine. And I guarantee there's Rockets fans listening who maybe have already commented like, you idiots, he's always been this good. And like a lot of people have said that and they're probably right. I just feel like personally in my time watching him, this is the best that I've seen him play. And he's had to carry this Turkey team and has done it literally every game. Like he's almost averaging a triple double in a 40-minute game right now. He's 22, 11, and 7.
So I thought he leveled up in the playoffs last year.
He was good.
And
yes.
I don't care what Rockets fans tell you. Oh, he was always no, I don't know, because that was his first playoff series. I have no idea if he was always able to do that. Maybe you thought he was, but we didn't know until we actually saw it. I tried to rattle off the stats. I was really close. I was. I said 21 points and like 12 rebounds. It was 20.9 points and 11.9 rebounds per game in the playoffs. I had that. 5 points.
Very nice.
So I undersold him on the assists and 1.9 steals per game for Houston in the playoffs last year. He was really good. Now, the shooting percentages weren't awesome, 45% overall. You'd like that to be a little bit better, the way that it's been in EuroBasket. But all I know is that his physicality translated. And that's the biggest question I have, especially with young bigs, is can you be this physical? Can you play this level of playoff postseason type of basketball when everything is more physical? And for me, Sengun answered that last playoffs. And I think that is maybe what he's carrying over into EuroBasket. And he's just going to carry that over. It's just a bridge, right, into what could be a really big season. We've already seen Kevin Durant talking him up on social media and stuff. And I think it's fair to say he's the best center already that Kevin Durant has ever played with. And I do wonder what that just looks like.
Kendrick Perkins. I'm so funny. Yeah, I agree. And Poland's good, man. Like to beat them handily is impressive.
Poland was very good.
I would like to close this with a salute to Jordan Lloyd for balling out this tournament. Barely made the NBA.
MVP chance.
Newsbreakers are talking about where he's going now. He played that well for Poland. I love it.
He averaged 22.4 points per game on 49% shooting.
Salute to you, Indy at one time guy, Jordan Lloyd. Congratulations on your international
taking those deep Steph threes in these games. I love it. Like I love the swagger. Let's talk about the other game. Greece beats Lithuania 87-76. This one was closer than they wanted. They had to play Giannis basically towards the end, all the way to the end of this one because Lithuania kind of battled back. It was like a 6-point game. I think it was like 76-70 at one point with like 3 minutes left, but Greece pulls away. Shout out again, salute to Lithuania. What a run. Jonas Valanciunas was awesome for them. 24
No Sabonis, and they did this well.
Yeah. And Valanciunas filled in those shoes, right? 24 points, 15 rebounds in this game was awesome. Basically the entire tournament, but Giannis has just been arguably the best player in the tournament. Him, Sengun, Luka, like those are the guys. Giannis, 29 points on 60% shooting in this one, and a couple of yams. Like some real serious yams in this one, Tony.
Yeah, Kostas was good too. An Antetokounmpo game today, but yeah, look, Giannis has been. They even rested him because they wanted him to dominate. Like he's making like 7 or 8 out of every 10 shots he's taking in this tournament, especially from inside the arc. Today was actually like a down shooting game for him, and he was 9 for 15 from the field. 60%.
So it looks unfair sometimes.
It does.
At the NBA level, it looks unfair sometimes. To be fair, right to the competition, but. Like in the NBA, it looks unfair when he just gets the ball in the open court and it's just either like a steal and go or something like that. And there's just nobody around him. He'll get the ball and there'll be like 3 guys around him. And it looks like there's nobody around him. He just does like one dribble move. And next thing you know, he's like dunking over the entire team. And it's crazy. But here's the exciting part. Giannis versus Sengun in the next round. Greece versus Turkey. That's going to be awesome. Turkey is the better team. Giannis is obviously the superior player, although Sengun has been awesome, right? Not taking anything away from him. But what's interesting here is that Sengun has, or Turkey has so much length that where none of these teams could sort of build the wall that NBA teams will talk about when playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Turkey can kind of build that wall. So I'm interested to see how this goes.
And for a shot at the title, right? Like, I don't know what you think. Maybe it's Luka, but like Germany loves these international tournaments and they're awesome. I would say Germany's probably the favorite left. Luka's, if they win, would be the favorites left. The winner of this game's like maybe a silver medal favorite. Like that's a huge thing for these teams in these kind of tournaments. Like Greece had an okay. They were in the Olympics, right? They were just okay. Turkey was not in the Olympics. So big opportunity ahead for both of these teams. And 2 stars are absolutely dominating right now. And it'll be really fun to see them go against each other in that stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. Like the winner of this, looking at the bracket, like the winner of this might be it. This might be the championship game.
To be clear, the sides did work out where like most of the best teams were on the same side of the bracket, and this is not that side. But I do think these are the two best teams. Apologies to Denny Avdia, who balled.
I guess Germany is good.
Germany's so good, and they like are crazy because all their dudes spread out, and they're not in the same league or on the same club teams, and they come together every summer, and it's the same 8 guys just kicking butt over. It's crazy, man. They're awesome.
Slovenia is not good. They only have Luka. The rest of that roster is aggressively bad. And every game they've played has been way too close. So I think Germany beats Slovenia. Then we got Finland versus Georgia. Larry Markkinen, shout out to him, reclaiming his trade value. So it'll probably be Finland, Germany. Then Germany probably wins that. Although Finland
no. Goga and Sandro are gonna keep it going for Georgia, man. They've been
betting on Georgia. Go to FanDuel.com to go ahead and do that.
SEC bias.
Spurs and Mavericks. The Spurs and the Mavericks have 2 of the great young players in the NBA. But which Texas team is better? We'll talk about that next. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. They say the game of golf is a good walk ruin, but not if you're doing it right. With 5-Hour Energy, who cares about how many strokes you have? What was the first paragraph of this ad copy? Whether you're sinking birdies or making great memories of friends. I don't have that first option. I'm not sinking birdies, but I am having fun, getting outside, spending time outdoors, time with friends. Golf, for me, is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit the number 5 HE for our energy. The number 5 HEwin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Welcome back to Locked On NBA Game Night. Every game, every night. The best way to support the show is to subscribe on YouTube and on your favorite podcast app. This, Tony, is NBA Versus, where we pin 2 teams against each other and ask which team is better. We're going to do it by deciding 4 categories: best player, best co-star, best depth, and best coach. The winner of these 4 categories is the winner, and therefore is the best team, as decided by you and I, which is all that matters.
I appreciate you just explaining it to me, which is for the listeners, but I needed it because I keep calling it the wrong thing. So for Inside Baseball, I've called this the wrong thing for weeks, and I've done it 5 times now.
That's okay. It's still the offseason. It's fine. So we're pitting the Spurs versus the Mavericks against each other. 2 Texas teams around the same win total projections, according to FanDuel. Probably will finish around the same place. Both built around young stars, although I guess you could disagree a little bit if you're Dallas and figure out, okay, who are we built around exactly? But for the Spurs, we have Victor Wembanyama and the Mavericks, Cooper Flagg, and a bunch of other really interesting players on both of these teams. Where do they finish? Who is better? Let's start at the top. Best player. This one is pretty debatable, but if we listen to the Locked On Top 100, it's Victor Wembanyama there at number 7 is the best player of this group. Do you agree?
With apologies to Anthony Davis, who I think gets a little underrated because his defense is like so awesome every single year. Wemby's defense is also awesome and probably better, and he's a little better to me, but it is closer. Anthony Davis is probably a slightly better offensive player right now. If Wemby comes in this year with a little more power on that end after his meeting with the Monks and Kevin Garnett and Harry Potter and everybody this offseason, I think any step forward from him, and it'd be him. It's already pretty close. I was surprised at the gap between them in our list that you mentioned, but I think this coming year, Wemby will be better despite that being pretty close.
So I agree. With all due respect to Anthony Davis, let's also remember that Anthony Davis had like cornea surgery or something. Yeah. So right. Like TBD. Also a little wrinkle. We don't know when Kyrie Irving is coming back. So that really
makes the co-star one tough too, but yeah, so that is a big wrinkle.
So how do you deal with it? Because the co-star in San Antonio would be De'Aaron Fox, right?
Yep.
Is it Cooper Flagg for Dallas? PJ Washington? Is it Derek Lively?
All healthy, both teams. Kyrie is the answer to this question, right? Like he is clearly the better second best player.
Sure, but I don't know if
for the season that's coming.
Yeah,
that is not easy.
That makes it difficult. Like we're trying to judge these two teams on the court, right? So
yeah,
I'm taking Kyrie out of the equation. I just don't know when he's going to be back.
I think that's reasonable. That's always the tricky return timeline when it's like probably February. It's like so late in the season. Does it make sense even?
And Kyrie hasn't been known for coming back ahead of schedule.
Yes, that's true. If Anthony Davis is better than Wemby, I think that increases the chance that Kyrie would come back because that means the Mavs are probably playing pretty well this year.
Mm-hmm. To me, it's Fox versus Flagg, and it has to be De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, the guy we've seen play. With no offense to Flagg, who could be spectacular this year. Like you just never know how good rookies are going to be, and I know that De'Aaron Fox can be the 40th, 35th, 30th best player in the NBA. So yeah, it's Fox. It
very well could end up being Cooper Flagg, right? But we can't in good faith. Like, and if it is, right, that tilts this entire equation. But
yes,
you can't in good faith sit here and be like, I know that Cooper Flagg is going to be better than De'Aaron Fox. That's crazy. I thought it was crazy that Cooper Flagg ranked 80th on our top 100. I was like, I didn't vote for him. I don't think
I didn't vote for him, but not because I don't think he's going to be awesome. You don't know with rookies. You have no idea.
I'm very confident that he's going to be awesome, but like we got to be realistic about this stuff. You never really know.
Yeah, I'd probably give like an 85% chance he has a better career than Fox, but I'm not picking him right now over the guy.
Right. Exactly. So we got Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. Spurs. Boom. They take the first two categories. Two categories left. Most depth. Spurs or Mavericks?
The Spurs have a lot of good players. The Mavs have much better depth. Like not significantly, but their front court's really spectacular. Like they're gonna have two like really, really good players coming off the bench in the front court. Maybe three, honestly. Like if they start Lively, Davis, and Flagg, that still leaves Gafford, Marshall, and a PJ Washington off the bench. Like that is a stacked front court, and Clay's like kind of guards front court player sometimes, even though he'll be playing the two. Their guard depth is very flimsy, and the Spurs have way more guard depth, but it's also like younger and unproven. So advantage Mavs for me here. Yeah,
I go Mavs. This could really be a pretty significant Mavs bump if somebody like Max Christie or Jaden Hardy or one of these guys, Brant Williams, like one of these guys just pops, which is what Dallas is hoping for in that backcourt. They did re-sign D'Angelo Russell. Klay Thompson is still there. I count all of that for depth, right? To me, it's just beyond the stars. Who are your other good players? And Dallas has a bunch of good young players.
I'm like nervous. I'm missing a Spurs guy.
Luke Cornett.
All their depth is like young or unproven.
Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell.
Did not forget Luke Cornett. I did forget Kelly Olynyk. Congrats to Kelly Olynyk. I did forget you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much that's a factor.
You got traded twice.
There's a lot of teams that think that Kelly Olynyk is a good idea.
Like they're going to be relying on Harper's going to play. They're going to rely on him. Sohan's still unproven. Olynyk's a TBD. Castle's probably good, but still unproven. Carter Bryant's still unproven. Yeah, they're just playing too many guys.
Dallas just has more proven guys, right? That's probably a good way to put it. So advantage Dallas.
Same thing with Flag, right?
Exactly. Best coach. To me, this is obvious. I think it's got to be Kidd.
Yeah, sorry to bitch Johnson. I just have only seen you coach half a season, and I've never seen you have a training camp ever. So, Jason Kidd's a good coach. He got him to the finals.
Jason Kidd is a good coach. He's rubbed some people the wrong way, I think is a fair way to put that. Right?
He is probably too much of a punching bag given his recent accomplishments because the start of his coaching career was not good at all. But he's good now.
And he has gotten Dallas to play a few different ways.
Yep.
And he does tend to get buy-in from players. And I don't really know how the Mavericks want to play this year. I'm assuming it's going to be based on defense because that's what Nico Harrison wants. But that's what Jason Kidd can actually coach up a pretty good defense. So and he's got the track record for that. So I definitely go Kidd for best coach. So it's 2-2 Mavs, Spurs. Do we want to break the tie here in some way, shape, or form?
Man, it's so tricky for me because a lot of people keep saying they think the Spurs are kind of underrated. And I don't know how I feel about the Mavs. Like you're really relying on D'Angelo Russell being pretty good. I'm not digging either of these teams' outlooks coming into this year. So it might just be like which best player actually ends up being better is the better team. But if you ran 100 simulations, I would guess the Mavs are better like 60% of the time, 65% of the time.
Yeah, you're probably right. They just have so much depth. And we got to remember it's an 82-game season. Injuries are going to happen. Injuries will probably happen to Wembanyama. And if he misses 15 games, like that could just be enough, right? To make them a worse team record-wise than Dallas. I'm going to go slight lean to Dallas here. My biggest concern with the Spurs is I do feel like we're way too early on them. I feel like we're too early. And I'm like, look, I don't know that Dylan Harper. I love Dylan Harper. I don't know that he's good. We saw 5 games of De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama together. I got to just see more of this before I want to get super early on them. My biggest concern with Dallas is I don't know who gets into the paint and who creates offense for them unless it's Cooper Flagg. And despite everything we just said about Cooper Flagg, I actually have a lot of confidence that Cooper Flagg is going to be able to be a pretty good playmaker for this team. If he can be the playmaker that they need, then to me, this is easily Dallas. It's like going away Dallas. But if he's not, and if Anthony Davis misses time, and if Kyrie Irving never comes back, then and Victor Wembanyama has a healthier season than he did the last couple seasons, then it could easily be the Spurs. So I'm waffling here, Tony.
Kyrie returns. It's easy Mavs to me too, because then they'll have 30% of the season where they're just better, like on paper and in practice. And then they still have your question of who gets into the paint. So there's way more ways that the Mavs are the better team to me. There's also like a not, this is a decent chance, like 10, 15, 20% where we're just like, oh, Wemby's just the best.
Right. There's the other scenario is that Wembanyama is, we ranked him 7 in our top 100, and that might not have been high enough. Like, it just turns out that he's the 3rd best player in the league.
That's not unreasonable to me.
It's not. And then he's like, oh, this guy just carried them to
then the Spurs win
50 wins, and then that's it. So TBD coming up next, more details on Kawhi's demands as a free agent and the team that passed up on him, passed up on giving him what the Clippers allegedly did. That plus the Bulls get their guy coming up next. All right, it's time to wrap up our Tuesday episode the way we always do. It's time for buy or sell. Josh Giddey has agreed on a 4-year, $100 million deal to re-sign with the Bulls. Tony, buy or sell this deal for the Bulls?
I like it. Apparently I like Giddey more than other people contractually. I actually had him lower than we all did in the top 100, but he made it on my list and he made it in the top 100. He's clearly a starting level player and he's making like 13 to 15% of the cap the next 4 years. And I would actually probably guess there's some funny money in the 4th year because of how much negotiations went on here.
Careful with that. Careful. How funny is this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, funny money like non-guaranteed or option money, not like planting trees in Chicago money. Yeah. Well, you know how this goes. Like when it's a round number, like 100 million, it's always like the agent is so thrilled that it's 100 million. It's actually 90 guaranteed or something like that. We'll see. But Giddey's fine. Like he's clearly a starting level guard to me. He's got to work on some stuff defensively and maybe as a shooter, although he got better in that way. So I think it's fine. There's probably more upside for Giddey than the Bulls, I would say, but he's young and good enough that if you're a bad team, it's fine.
I'm buying this for Josh Giddey, right?
Yes.
The reports were
better for him, I think.
The negotiations started at 4 years, $80 million. They upped that to 4 years, $88 million. This is all according to reporting out of Chicago. 4 years, $88 million. I think that was last week. And then they just bumped up to $100 million. So for in a couple months, he went from an $80 million 4-year offer to a $100 million 4-year offer. That's a big difference. That's $20 million for people who are not that good at math. I think that Josh Giddey and his representation, they knew that the Bulls had to pay him. After they traded Alex Caruso for him, they decided not to trade Caruso for draft capital and all this stuff. And people, crushed the Bulls for that trade in the first place. I'm like you. I kind of think Josh Giddey's good. I did not have a problem with that trade for Chicago. Like people are like, oh, they have to get a 1st-round pick. I'm like, why? They got Josh Giddey. He was like 6th pick in the draft a couple years ago. He's a good player. He just didn't fit with Oklahoma City. Whatever. I thought he was really good for the Bulls down the stretch last year. So they take a shot on him. But when you do that, you kind of have to re-sign him, right? And so I think Giddey and his representation knew it. They did the right way. They did the right thing in holding out. And they might be the only restricted free agent situation that actually kind of gets a W out of this summer.
I bet Grimes does, but that's just I have no reason to think that. But I agree with everything you just said. Basically, the only thing that made me sad is going into the break. You said the Bulls get their guy. It's a little sad that Josh Giddey's their guy. Yeah, he's good, but it's like that is their best player.
It's funny that you said that because I was like, was that the right way to tease that? That's a sad
Kobe White's
tease.
better than him, maybe, but like he's not. Who knows if he'll be on the team a year from now? So
it's rough. According to the Toronto Star, Kawhi Leonard had a list of demands for the Toronto Raptors in 2019 that included a 10% ownership stake in the Toronto Maple Leafs and a similar no-show sponsorship deal. Buy or sell Toronto's decision not to give in to these reported listed demands. So throwing some double negatives at you.
Hold on. Do we know that they weren't going to, or did they just not get him and not have to?
Okay, correct, right? So buy or sell, Toronto's not doing that.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Well, clearly, like the fact that Leonard got intertwined with 3 teams, right? Lakers, Clippers, and Raptors is allegedly, like, following the tea leaves of other people who are better at reporting and more connected than me, like why this got out, because there were some sour grapes, right? So if the Raptors had gotten him, and I believe that the same company owns the Raptors and Maple Leafs. So like wink, wink, if you, you know, blink twice if you're okay on that one. If he went to the Raptors, like would both LA teams have thrown a fit about it anyway? So like this.
And Masai Ujiri got fired from the Raptors. So I don't know that he's the source on this. I don't know that he's not the source on this, right? But he's not.
I'm not going to guess. But it is, look, it's just, it is a shocking amount of circumstantial evidence is all I will say.
Uncle Dennis, man, just keeps asking for stuff. I'm surprised that if this is all true, I'm a little surprised that it took this long to get out. But I guess within the fraternity of basketball, there's a sort of this like, hey, like he asked for this.
That's what I'm saying, though, that it got out the first time in negotiations. And then once he's on the Clippers, like, how's it going to happen? You know?
Right. It's very strange. This whole thing is very strange.
Governor's meetings coming this week. You're going to hear a lot about that on this Locked On NBA feed, because you're guaranteed to hear some very pissy owners about this situation. Guaranteed.
There better be a real penalty to this. Like I'm at the point.
Even without a smoking gun, I think they have enough. Like, come on, guys. Like,
I don't even, like this. People act like also this has to clear some sort of like legal precedent. This isn't the judicial branch. This has nothing to do with that. You have one guy at the top who can make this decision. Literally, it's in the Constitution. Adam Silver gets to make all of these decisions. You don't have to clear some sort of legal benchmark.
Right.
That doesn't exist. This is not the Supreme Court. All you have to do is say, hey, the public trust in our salary cap, which is, by the way, if I'm Adam Silver, my crown jewel, it's sort of the whole thing I've built my commissionership around, is this salary cap. And now I've got the richest owner in the world trying to circumvent it, or at least seemingly trying to circumvent it. I'm sorry, whether you did it or not, you look stupid and you're going to get punished for it. Yeah. Like it's that simple. We keep talking about like precedent and smoking guns. Like that doesn't matter.
The guy who's so proud of the fact that all these different teams keep winning the championship, like that's because of this system makes it hard to keep your team together and build a sustainable one. And the other part of that is, this is the best comp I heard. I don't remember the exact term for it, but like in college for a while, there used to be a term that coaches would be like, I had no idea my assistant coach was giving chips bags full of money to these recruits.
Right.
It's like, not knowing is not a defense, right? You should know what's going on in your program. And I forget the term that was that colleges have been punished for, using basically that
like
logic.
The plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability, yeah. Like that's a fair thing to say, is like, okay, Steve Ballmer, maybe you didn't mean to have this happen, but like you should know about, where the money entanglement of all this, like, or someone with the Clippers should know. And that was the most compelling, like, okay, even without evidence, I think a punishment does make some sense, even though I don't know exactly what that should be.
Oh, I think you remember when SMU football got hit?
Yeah, blowing them up.
It was the death blow to the program.
Yeah. Wow. If they truly find a smoking gun, then yes, that is 100% going to happen. Like no more first round picks. Goodbye to Kawhi. Like all of it. If they can't find a smoking gun, I think plausible deniability, they should still be punished. But I don't think you can do that without knowing for sure they definitely intentionally did this.
Crushing. Last thing here.
I would not be a good commissioner. I'd be very bad at acting on your behalf.
During a summer where he's already spent time with monks in China and Kevin Garnett, Victor Wembanyama has been seen working with Hakeem Olajuwon, Tony buy or sell Wemby, learning a thing or two from the dream.
I did not know this. That is cool.
Isn't this awesome?
Wow. Yeah, he's met everybody, man. Every pick of him this summer, I'm like, that's so cool.
What a summer for Wemby.
Yeah, obviously he thinks he can learn something from him, right? That's why he's working with them. And the dream could do a little bit of everything, man. So I don't have any like super deep nuanced take about this, besides that it's good for Wemby to be learning.
So it's a buy. Okay.
I'm buying it. Yes. And if I'm Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm like, I would like to be tied to trading this man. So yes.
If Victor Wembanyama, who is incredible, but has zero post game, like zero footwork, like there's no skill, there's no finesse. He can do it, right? Spurs fans don't get upset. Obviously, I've seen the guy dunk. Yes, he has zero footwork skills. Okay, and that's fine. He's like 14 years old, whatever. I don't know how old he is. Like, if he can get 10% of what Hakeem Olajuwon was able to do, whoo! Like, watch out.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, this is huge. I love that Hakeem Olajuwon is working with Victor.
Were you in the building for Thomas Bryant's reaction to Wemby? Was that a game in Miami?
You have to elaborate a little bit more.
So there was a play where Thomas Bryant was guarding Victor Wembanyama, and when Thomas Bryant was on the Heat, I believe it was a preseason game, and Wemby just turned around over him and kind of threw it into the basket.
Oh, I do remember this.
Bryant looked up and then he looked at the crowd and he shrugged, what on earth am I supposed to do about that? And it was not even a post move. It was just oh, he's 7'5" and can just turn around and put it in the basket.
Thomas Bryant is an all-time
emotive.
If the
guy.
game is boring, just watch him.
He came here this
reaction
year.
to things.
It was a blast,
right?
Anyway, if Wemby has real moves to do that to people with any sort of consistency, ooh,
and then he doesn't have to spend as much time just my biggest thing with the Spurs last year was just felt like it was Victor Wembanyama's playground a lot. And he was like, I'm just going to shoot this one-legged three. And everybody was cool with it eventually. And everybody was, and for the record, I was also very cool with it. It was very cool and fun to watch. But at some point, the Spurs are going to have to start winning games here. And that's not going to be as cool anymore. The way to do that and to spend a little bit less time on the three-point line is to actually have a bag and some footwork here. He's never going to be the bulkiest. He's not going to be Shaq or Embiid in the post, right? But if he's got the size and he's got the skill, he's obviously got the shooting touch. If he just has a couple of moves that he can get to, forget about it, man. It's over. That wraps up Locked On NBA Game Night. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. For Tony East, I'm Wes Goldberg. This has been Game Night. Thanks for hanging out with us.